Greetings and welcome to this segment of Bring It On. My name is Bob Hayes and I'm going to be your show host for today's show. And I'm very proud to say that I have the director of Camp Kiwanee, and he is also the recreation director for the town of Hanson, Josh Wolff. Josh, how are you?
Good, good. Very nice to meet you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad that you came in. To the segment today, we're going to try to do a little bit so the people of Hanson can figure out exactly what goes on at Camp Kiwanee. And I understand that you've taken the job, as I just said, as the director of Camp Kiwanee and also the Town Recreation Commission. Give us a little bit about what makes Josh tick, who you are.
Who am I? So I grew up in Sharon, Massachusetts, small town, a little bit west of here. I loved sports growing up. I played football. I wrestled in high school. And so, when I sort of went on my career path, I wanted to incorporate recreation, sports, and that sort of started with the town of Weston. So I worked in their recreation department. I was actually the founder and coach of the Weston Youth Wrestling Program. And I did that for a while. I did that for about 7 years, kind of just taking something from scratch and sort of creating a program and a culture and trying to build a program. But, over the course of my time in Weston, I really developed a passion for recreation and working with kids. And so I decided to go back to school and went to North Carolina State University to study recreation management. And then after I graduated, I was lucky enough to get a job with the town of Brookline, which was an awesome full-time opportunity, and I got to learn a lot in Brookline as far as how a diverse recreational department for a fairly big town operates. I operated a skating rink. I did an after-school program, summer camp, softball. So it was a really great, all-encompassing learning experience, and I was there for 2 years, and that sort of brought me to Hanson, and I was kind of looking for a new challenge, and I had heard that Hanson had a recreation department, but they were kind of looking to grow and expand and offer more recreational opportunities to Hanson citizens. So I sort of saw it as, this could be a new challenge for me, and, in order for me to sort of use what I learned in Brookline to impact change in Hanson. And so I've been here about 6 months, and I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made, and I'm looking to sort of keep building and growing in Hanson.
Well, Josh, as you know, you probably figured out in the quick time that you've been here, 6 months, that the people of Hanson love Camp Kiwanee. It's a hidden jewel. It's a place that many of people in their 40s and 50s and 60s have called home for a long time. It's just a beautiful place that everybody loves. And it was surrounded by a little bit of controversy with some of the previous people, and that's all cleared up, and I think that the people are delighted and happy that you're here. So tell us a little bit about what goes on at the camp, and we'll try to get into what goes on, what you're doing, and what your future plans are, and I know that's a large question. So let's take with what goes on in the day-to-day over at Camp Kiwanee.
Okay. Well, I do want to, echo what you said, and that Camp Kiwanee is a really beautiful place, and it kind of was one of the reasons why I wanted to sort of take on this challenge, was because of the potential opportunities, that Camp Kiwanee presents, and because it just seems like you said, a lot of Hanson residents and the people around Hanson, they're really passionate about Camp Kiwanee, and for a lot of them, it's where they grew up, and when they think of their childhood, when they think of spending time with their family, for a lot of them, Camp Kiwanee comes to mind.
Well, Josh, it's a place they call home. They went swimming there. They learned how to swim there as kids. Everybody called it the Cove, and that's what it was. You know, people used to pay, and I'm really dating myself, but back in the early days, it was like $1 to go to the camp, and and there's, as you know, there's all kinds of cabins, and it's a hidden jewel of Hanson. It's one of the most beautiful places in the town. It's had a tremendous support of volunteers. I mean, there's people that are in their 60s and 70s that have put roofs on buildings and, you know, down raking, cleaning, cutting trees, running programs. I know that they have a drama program with plays, and it just it's added to this culture in Hanson that it's become like a family member, so to speak. So tell us a little bit more about what your plan is.
Yeah. So I agree with you 100%. You know, I think people take a lot of pride in, you know, their affiliation with Camp Kiwanee and kind of having it be there, part of the community. And that's what I plan on sort of keeping here in Hanson. You know, I want it to be a place where people can come and recreate. So, you know, as far as future plans, you know, it's interesting. It's you know, there are a lot of ideas and concepts being thrown out there, and it's definitely a difficult task to sort of get a full picture of you know, not only these ideas, but what the people of Hanson really want and need.
Well, why don't we start with what's currently going on?
Currently, okay.
Currently, like when you jumped into this job, you got here 6 months ago, so you're coming into your first summer. And summer's a very, very busy time at the camp, as we all know. I mean, they have the swim program that's second to none. I think almost every kid in Hanson learned to swim at the Cove one time or another.
Yeah,
or Camp
definitely.
Kiwanee, as it's currently called.
Yeah. So coming into the summer, that was, you know, the big 800-pound gorilla was sort of having a nice, smooth summer, you know, camp experience, and having, the beach experience, and sort of learning how that goes. And so I've taken a lot of time and not only tried to learn, but, you know, also tried to be supportive of our beach director, who's you know, worked at the Cranberry Cove for many of the previous years, and has a lot of knowledge on the Cranberry Cove and swimming in general. So yeah, you know, I think it's just, you know, my first summer has just sort of been a nice mix of helping, being supportive, but then also learning and seeing how things work as far as the Cranberry Cove and lifeguards, you know, that sort of, we've been doing public swimming, we've been doing, we just finished swim lessons. We have a swim team at Camp Kiwanee, which just wrapped up as well. And then I've also, you know, been tasked with, you know, trying to create some new sort of unique programming at the Cranberry Cove. So we did a stand-up paddleboarding clinic this summer, which was really successful and a lot of fun. We had a group from Cape Cod that did the clinic. And then we also did a kayaking club this summer. So it was kind of a social club where fellow kayakers, you know, could get together and interact and, you know, share some tips and tricks about kayaking. And so, you know, it's been starting off slow and kind of sort of giving Hanson residents some new looks, while also giving them, you know, the things that they have had for many years that many of the Hanson residents really value, such as public swimming, swim lessons, which are really important in any community.
Very, very important.
Yeah. So, so yeah, it's been a very nice mix, and so my summer's been very busy with that, as well as planning for, you know, the fall and winter season, when of course things get a little bit slower because you know, kids are back at school, and our event schedule slows down a little bit, and so I saw it as a really good opportunity to, you know, start to develop some new programs, which we're doing. And so in September we are starting a Learn to Fish program, which we already have a lot of registrants. We actually still have a few spots remaining if anybody wants to register. I've also been really...
Stay with that for 1 second.
Sure.
So people can figure out how to register. How would they go about registering for the Learn to Fish program?
Okay. So, yeah, it's definitely a good thing to mention is that we have created a new website, and that was, one of the another aspect that I've been really busy with is the design and implementation of our new website. So if you want to check it out, it's officialcampkiwanee.com. And if you go there, they have several tabs, and there's a recreation tab, and that's where you can find information about our Learn to Fish program. And on that page, you can also register for the program. And it's actually a free program, free to register. We got a very generous donation from the Hanson Fishing Gun Club for a number of fishing rods and other fishing equipment that kids sort of need to get started. And so we're really excited. I think that's going to be a really fun program, family-oriented program that we're going to start in September.
Well, as you, like you said, you've been here 6 months, you'll find that Hanson Rod and Gun is it's another resource in town that's very good. They have a giant once-a-year fishing thing at the town hall pond, and they do a lot for kids, so partnering up with them on certain things is probably a great idea. Talking about the beach program before we move into the fall, am I correct in saying, wasn't there just a complete makeover of the docks at Camp Kiwanee? Can you just talk a little bit about that?
You are correct. So our old docks were recently replaced. They were many years old. They were dating back to the 1970s. So we recently, through a grant that we received from another really awesome, generous town department. It was the Community Preservation.
CPC?
CPC, yeah. We received a very generous grant, and we were able to replace the old docks with brand new floating docks, which they've been really fantastic, and we've received a lot of positive responses on the stability, and then also just the aesthetic look of the docks, and so we're really excited about many future years using these brand new docks. I mean, they should be something that at least for my lifetime we'll have these docks, and something we won't have to worry about is any sort of repair or anything like that. They're in really great shape, and they're very high quality.
So you think the longevity of these new docks is going to be a long time? I mean, if you talk about the old docks date back to the 70s, that's 50-odd years, so it's great.
Yeah.
As we talk about Camp Kiwanee, is one of your responsibilities also dealing with Needles Lodge as far as renting it out? I understand it's rented for weddings and all types of different things. Can we talk a little bit about that? Is that under the guise of what you do?
Yeah, and so I do some oversight as far as our rentals of our Needles Lodge for weddings and other events, and we have a really super administrator that sort of she's been doing it for over a year, and she's really thorough as far as rental agreements and that whole process, and so she does a really good job with that, and I offer support as far as that's concerned, and it's definitely we have a really beautiful facility at the Needles Lodge, and people will come in for tours and just kind of be blown away, and it's one of those things where a lot of brides will come in for a tour and realize that day that that's the place where they want to get married. It's also really nice in that we also offer events if you want to do a birthday party or a bridal shower. community events are also something that we offer, and we offer a discount to Hanson residents, and so it's a really great, beautiful facility that's reasonably priced for the people that want to take advantage of it, and it's a really well-run facility. I mean, it's always difficult when you have a building that's over 100 years old, and you're tasked with maintenance and other items as far as the management of a large, older facility like that. But it's well worth it, in that we have the opportunity to offer it out to Hanson residents and others that want to utilize it and sort of create memories at the lodge.
Well, it's an interesting thing. If you could just tell us again, if you want to go to the website to do anything or check on the events at Camp Kiwanee, the site is officialcampkiwanee.com. Meaning
Yes.
the very official campkiwanee.com.
Very official, yeah. So if you see official Camp Kiwanee, then you'll know it's legitimate, it's ours, and it gets updated very frequently. So if you want to take a look at upcoming events, that's right on the home page. If you want to get added to our newsletter, we send out a newsletter every 2 or 3 weeks that kind of updates you on upcoming events and activities. You can do that via the website as well, and you could take a look at pictures from past events. You can gain information on lodge rentals or camping information. All of that is available to you via the web.
Okay, so the newsletter, that sounds like something that's fairly new to Camp Kiwanee. I don't think they've had that. They probably have had that a few years ago, but I don't remember it being. That's awesome. It really gives the people of Hanson or anybody that wants to come up to Camp Kiwanee an idea of what's going on. It's nice that you're being very proactive with the citizens of the town and showing them what's available. Future events. You talk about the calendar slows down and the events slow down as soon as the swimming stops, which is going to be soon. Mm-hmm. I hate to say that, but we might maybe we get another month. What happens? September, October, November. Does the camping end? Is there a Halloween event? What's your future look at Camp Kiwanee?
Okay, so yeah, speaking to camping, we do still rent out our cabins up until about the end of October. So there still is that opportunity if you want to go camping, in September and October. And then as far as the year progresses, we're looking to offer some nice community events that are free for members, Hanson residents, and then also sort of create some recreational program like the fishing. And you mentioned Halloween. We are working on putting together a Halloween event. It actually is on the web as well. It's we call it the Camp Kiwanee Halloween Extravaganza, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's October 28th from 12 to 4 p.m. and it'll be
Saturday.
So it's a Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
And it'll be a really fun, family, kid-friendly community event right at Camp Kiwanee. And we actually have, it's an interesting event in that we want not only, volunteers, but we want, people's involvement. So one of the cool things that we're doing for this event is that we are opening up the cabins, and so families, businesses, community groups have the opportunity to decorate their own cabin. So if you go to our website, you just have to fill out an application, a cabin decorating application, and then we're just going to hand out cabins, and it's sort of a cool. And we had thought about it over the summer, kind of going through the cabins and thinking, oh, this would be a really cool sort of haunted house situation in Hanson. So that's kind of, we kind of worked off of that idea and said, why don't we, give families and groups the opportunity to decorate their own cabin. So that's what we're going to do, and we're also going to have fun Halloween-themed activities, games, music. We're going to get some food trucks for the event. So it's shaping up to be a really fun. You could come and decorate a cabin, or you could just come and sort of look at the cabins, play some games. There are, almost endless opportunities with this event. If you want to volunteer and run an event or run an activity at the event, that's another opportunity. And I had mentioned our cabin decorating application, which is online. We also have a volunteer application. So if you're interested in being involved, whether it be the Halloween extravaganza or another event or activity, we're always looking for volunteers and people that care about the camp and want to be involved. So if you're listening to this and you think that sounds like you, then definitely fill out a volunteer application. Get it back to us as soon as you can.
Well, Josh, it's funny you say haunted house. There's rumors that Needles Lodge is haunted. I'm sure you've heard the stories of that there's ghosts and there was things in past history that make that haunted and make it very interesting. And people have said for years, it's such a fabulous place. So if you're watching this show, and as Josh said, you want to be a volunteer, please fill out the application. Go to the site, the official campkiwanee.com. And if you'd like to do a cabin, or you're a business and you'd like to sponsor something, there's going to be food trucks. There's going to be decorating the cabin type affair, which is going to be probably judged if you want to be a volunteer. You have all these opportunities at a great place that Hanson has right off of Route 58. So that's fabulous. We're getting to Halloween and we're moving on. I know it's recreation all winter, and we're talking a lot about Camp Kiwanee. Is there any ideas moving into the Christmas themed? And I know people are going, Bob, you're out of your mind. But Christmas is Thanksgiving, then Christmas. It's right around the corner. So this Halloween extravaganza is so. I'm just sitting here saying to myself, I can see the tremendous amount of people in Hanson wanting to be involved with this. So what's your thought?
Yeah, and that was the idea when it came up, was that, what we should do here and, how to utilize this awesome space is, a great way to do that is to offer, community special events. And Halloween is, speaking personally, it's one of my favorite holidays. I actually go to Salem, Massachusetts every Halloween time and take in the sights and sounds. And if you've never been there, it's
That's an awesome place to be too.
Yeah, it's like a Halloween extravaganza pretty much every day.
Yeah, exactly.
In the month of October. So yeah, it's kind of it's a fun, festive event, and there are going to be a lot of fun games and activities for kids and adults to participate in. We'll have food, we'll have music.
You're going to dress up in costumes?
Of course, yes. Yeah, everybody, if you do come, you're welcome to dress up. And if you are decorating a cabin, that's another thing where I would definitely recommend that you dress up in your spookiest costume. And, what I put on the application, and that's one of the most important things is just to kind of have fun with this event, and you get a nice rustic cabin and use your imagination.
Well, Josh, again going back to Camp Kiwanee, Camp Kiwanee has a very rich history in having plays. I know that they've had a tremendous amount of plays, and that was some concern of the residents that the drama club, and I don't know if drama club is the perfect way to put it, but there was a tremendous amount of plays up there. Is that coming back to Kiwanee anytime in the future?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the things that I've learned over the course of my 6 months here is that Hanson and this general area in particular has a really vibrant theater arts community.
There's a lot of drama in Hanson. There definitely
yeah.
is.
Yeah,
it's not even a question.
It's a really artistic community, and so yeah, it's definitely one of our tasks is to create opportunities, leisure opportunities that, people can participate in that sort of meet their interests. And I think that community theater is a big part of that. So as of right now, we have a youth group that meets weekly. It's the Drama Club of Southeastern Massachusetts.
That's awesome.
And they do a lot of really fun games and activities, and they have a show at the end of the year. So that's something that definitely is really good that we have there. And we are definitely also looking into the possibility of bringing back more productions. We've been in talks with different groups, and it's definitely something that's on our radar, is to make this opportunity available not just to kids but also adults, because so I've heard way back in Kiwanee's heyday, drama was a really big part of the success at Camp Kiwanee.
It was a huge part of the success of Camp Kiwanee. There were so many people in it, and it encompassed so many ages. I mean, there were plays that encompassed from young children to adults to, it's a great place. It's a great place to do that. I know that this half hour seems like it's probably gone along quick, like I told you it would. We've only got a few minutes left, so let's quickly recap the good things that are going on at Camp Kiwanee and the stuff to come. Swimming all summer, new docks, a giant Halloween extravaganza coming up on the 28th, which is the Sunday. You're going to be able to have a cabin, decorate cabins. There's going to be people in costumes. There's going to be a tremendous, tremendous support from the town. There's going to be food trucks. It's going to be a spectacular event, and that is, again, October 28th. What time, Josh?
So it's going to be noon to 4.
And again, I hate to be redundant, but people like to hear it. How do they get to the site? And they've got to register?
So it's www.officialcampkiwanee.com. And there's a lot of really good information there. And so we welcome you, to be involved however it is you want to be involved, whether that means volunteering or, once the leaves start to change and the weather gets a little bit cooler, it's a really great place to go for a hike, enjoy nature. If you want to get outside this time of year, Camp Kiwanee it's always open to you.
Well, Josh, thank you for coming in. I understand we're talking with the production crew at WHCA, and we're talking about maybe coming to Camp Kiwanee and taking a walk around and doing some filming there. And it's an exciting place, and I know that they're looking forward to doing it as much as I'm looking forward to doing it. And maybe we can get somebody there on Halloween to film this extravaganza so the people that can't get out can absolutely see what's going on. And great things are going on at Camp Kiwanee, which is wonderful. I mean, it has a giant history in the town of Hanson, and as I said earlier, all ages. It's just it's been a place for all ages for a long, long time. So ladies and gentlemen, in the future, please visit Camp Kiwanee on their site. And it is officialcampkiwanee.com. My name's Bob Hayes, and we're going to be watching, I'm hoping you're going to be watching another segment of Bring It On. If you'd like to contact me with any ideas for future shows, please, you can call me on my cell phone at 617-538-0189, or you can go to bobhayes4433@gmail.com. And as always, stay tuned. We're going to be coming up with another exciting Bring It On.